Good morning, everyone. So it's the 4th of June today, which means it's our first ever shows on HobbyMaker. The shows will be at 1 p.m. and 6 p.m. and my lovely friend Sharon Curtis will be guesting the shows for me, which I'm really excited about. I would say I'd have loved to do them myself, but in truth, I would probably be hiding somewhere terrified to be in front of the camera. Those who've followed me for a while may know that I did shows on Hachandra a few years ago, and although it was great to have our products featured, I can't say that being on TV was something I really enjoyed. In fact, even doing these videos is a bit out of my comfort zone. Anyway, with Sharon being the ultimate pro in front of the camera and also only being a short drive from the HobbyMaker studios, it seemed like a perfect solution to get her to guest so that I can concentrate on designing lots of lovely new things and packing the orders, keeping an eye on the odd alpaca birth when needed, and all of the other day-to-day boring jobs that I have to do. I've wanted to start doing a few real-time videos just to show how I've created some of my projects. So I thought I'd record a few demos of what I perhaps would have made if I was on HobbyMaker myself. The idea being that you'll get the best of both worlds then. You'll get the professional on screen in Sharon, you'll get her spin on our products, but you'll also get some demos from me, which you would have got if I'd have been on TV. So if you enjoy the videos, let me know and I'll try and do as many as I can fit in. Or if there are any particular samples you see on HobbyMaker, of which there are a lot, I sent loads in, let me know and I'll try and demo them and put them on YouTube. So I'm just going to start by running through what products will be on the show, and then I might try and squeeze in a quick demo at the end if I've got time. So we're going to start off with, we've got 4 new stamp sets launching and they'll be exclusive on HobbyMaker until Friday evening when they'll be popped on our own website. And there's also 2 new paper pads, same applies with those. And then there's also some of our older, well, I say older, they're not that old. Some of them are just from our previous release, but there's some existing sets as well. So you might have already bought them from our website. If you have, then still watch the shows because there's going to be some great inspiration. And I know Sharon's got some great demos planned. So I'm going to start off with the brand new ones. So the first one is an A6 stamp set and it's called Hey, and it's a sentiment set. So you've got the big Hey and you've got all extra little sentiments and some accent stamps because obviously we don't leave any space on our stamp sets. We try and fill every possible millimetre of space if we can. So the idea being with this one is that you can stamp this. I mean, you could obviously stamp it in black if you want to, but you could use some paler colours and then you could stamp the extra parts on top of a lighter colour image of the hay. So there are things like, hey, happy birthday, you are my person, thanks so much, just wanted to say, with love from us all, how are you doing? Hope you're well, feel better soon, special times, miss you, a new job, a new home, have fun, beautiful, good luck, congratulations, you're the best, friend, gorgeous, love you and you. So you could just have hey you, or you could have hey congratulations, beautiful, or you know, you can mix and match these. They're great for that, and they work alongside all of our other stamps or stamps you might have from other companies. So it's a really useful set, and the way you can play these kind of different fonts and using different colours and so on is really quite fun. So that's Hey. Then we've got Words Cute. Now I have got a stamp set called No Words, which has been really popular, which is just a type background, and I use it so much that I wanted to have some different sort of versions of it. So this is the first of a new version, which is Words Cute, and it's in a really cute little font. And it's great for, you can use it in its entirety and stamp perfectly for a background, or you can just use, and this is what I do an awful lot, is just ink up and just use your finger on the back of the stamp set. So instead of popping it on a acrylic block, you can just use a portion of it and just kind of add little accents to your background, so not the full stamp. So it's a really useful set that's going to be out on my desk a lot, I think. And then at the bottom there's this cute teddy bear, and I've used this over and over again. It's such a cute stamp, and I've drawn it so that you can add it so that it's holding a heart, a flower or a paintbrush, and you'll notice that each of these 3 things have got like a portion missing, which means you can stamp it around so that the bear's hand holds on to, so it can hold the heart or the flower or the paintbrush. And it's really quite easy to line those up. You don't need to be kind of concerned about it particularly. It's just one sort of gap that you can just position. Obviously being a clear stamp, it's quite easy to do that. And then we've got sentiments, creativity takes courage, and you are very special. So that's a really cute stamp to use. That's words cute. We've then got an A5 set called Legen-dairy, and inspired by my daughter who's obsessed with cows. I think she'd rather have a whole farm of cows instead of alpacas. So this is inspired by her, and there's lots of cute little cows on there, different types of cows, Highland cows, and various different types that you can colour them to make them look like any breed. And then we've got sentiments, again, my normal kind of puns: seize the moment, utterly adore you, thank Moo, you are legendary, heard it's your birthday, utterly awesome, love Moo, and I will love you till the cows come home. And these are great to colour. They've all got their little kind of dungarees on, or this one's got a t-shirt and his welly boots. So they're really sweet. And there's obviously, we've used up the space. We've got a cow print balloon and some little accents of cow print there, and some stars as well. So really fun set to play with. I've had great fun with this one. In fact, I'll just show you. So here's one of the little cuties here that I've coloured up to make it. I'm not really an expert on cows, but yeah, a little black cow there, so he's really cute. So that's Legen-dairy. I've then got Birthday Pheasant, and this one is in our kind of sketchy style, and these are really quite sizable stamps. If I just, let's get a ruler. So the fox is about 9.5 centimetres tall, roughly. So they're quite sizable stamps, and that means that there's some really good techniques you can use with these. I've actually painted onto fabric using the stamp, stamped and then painted to colour it. You can paper piece very easily because it's got a nice big open space. They're great for colouring. You can, I did a sped up video, I don't know if anyone saw it, where I've used distress ink. So I've stamped it in a pale colour, then used distress inks to kind of colour it, and then over stamped in the black afterwards. And that's a really nice technique, but it's quite difficult to do with the smaller stamps because of the distress crayons. You need to smudge them and so on, so you need quite a bit of space to kind of make that look good. So I will share that technique with you on a YouTube video if that is of interest to anyone. So yeah, this is Birthday Pheasant. So we've got the fox and the pheasant, and then we've got these beautiful decorative stamps. So there's the heart with the foliage there, the heart here, and then some kind of foliage, the sketchy rings here. There's a party hat here that the pheasant could wear if he wanted to, and then some berries and different things. And then the font, again, is sketchy to match the sketchy style of the stamps. So it looks a bit kind of vintagey. A birthday pheasant just for you. You are magnificent. Make happiness a habit, you crazy bird, love you, and a clever fox, and hey. So lots of different sentiments in there. Yeah, when I say vintagey, they're not really vintagey, they're kind of sort of distressed. So they're good for things like art journals, or on the fronts of your cards and different things as well. They're just designed to be in a sketchy style like the stamps. So that one was a really fun set to play with. I know Sharon in particular likes the pheasant. So that's Birthday Pheasant. I'm going to use that one in a second for a demo. And then we've got two paper pads. So these are a bit different for me. So you'll probably be used to seeing rainbows when it comes to our paper pads. But I thought I'd try and do something a little bit different. And I know a lot of people use our papers as backgrounds for their characters. So I thought it would be really nice to have some kind of meadowy field-like scenes. So this one's called Meadow Days. And it's got some really dreamy kind of papers with like they look almost like floral meadows with the sky, and yeah, different ones of those. So in our normal kind of style, but just a bit different in terms of the colours and how they're designed. So as always with our pads, there's 30 sheets in here, 10 designs, so 3 of each, and they're 190 GSM. So that's Meadow Days, and then we've got Meadow Nights, and this is probably my favourite one. I just love the colour palette on this, and it's exactly the same as the Meadow Days, but with a nighttime scene instead of the daytime. So they're really good. They just make instant backgrounds, so you could just literally take a character and pop a character onto the background there, and you've just got an instant card. So they're really, really fun to play with. So I'll be showing some samples with these. I don't have the samples with me because they're obviously at TV, ready for today. But if you have a look on social media, some have already been posted and I'll continue to post them over the coming days. So that's Meadow Nights. And then in terms of the show, on the rest of the show, there's some slightly older sets. So we've got Gifted here. So this one is one with 3 presents with the animals inside, and then there's a mix and match of sentiments. So we've got Hip Hip Hooray, It's Your Special Day, It's Christmas, Yay, Happy Cake Day, Open a Gift Day, You Did It, Yay, You're the Gift That Keeps on Giving, You're So Gifted, Happy Birthday, and Your Presents is Better Than Any Presents. And Surprise we've got there as well. So they could be used for Christmas if you did them in Christmassy colours. They can be used for birthdays. They can be used for anything basically where you would give a gift to someone. It could be a wedding, it could be anything. So really fun set, great to colour, yeah, and very useful for any occasion. So that's Gifted. Got Bits and Bobs. This was out of the last release, and this is kind of one of those sets where I just use it in conjunction with so many different other sets, just in the backgrounds, or to create wreaths, or to just add a bit of stitching to cards if you're layering them and different things like that. So this is Bits and Bobs, and I'll be using this one as well in my demo in a minute. So yeah, lots of different elements, lots of different, you know, you could just stamp them in black or in colours to match your project, and loads of different ways you could use this. So watch out for some inspiration on that one as well. Then we've got Sending Smiles. This was also in our last release, and it's the 3 cute elephants. These are the mirror image of each other, and so you could have them facing each other if you wanted to. And then the idea is that you could have the water, the hearts, the bubbles, or the flowers being blown out of their trunk. But obviously you could use them in a different way if you wanted to. In fact, if I show you, I've just made a wreath using, this is supposed to be the water that comes out of his trunk, but actually it makes a really great leaf. And then I've used the flowers there just to create the extra part of the wreath. So think outside the box. These small stamps are so, you know, everyone thinks they're just fillers, and they are, because I want to give you the best value for money I can, but also they can be really useful on their own. And actually I really enjoy finding ways of using the small stamps and making them you know, really work for a project. So that's Sending Smiles. Then we've got Special, which is one of our sentiment sets. You've got the Big Special and the Big Awesome, and then you've got all these different, so we've got lots of different people on here. We've got Dad, Mum, Auntie, Daddy, Nanny, Sister, Granddad, and then we've got Birthday, On Your Day. So you could say On Your Special Day, or have an awesome birthday, sister, or, you know, there's loads of different things you could do. So lots of different occasions, lots of different people, like I said. What else have we got on here? We've got awesome. So you could say you are awesome, enough said, or special times, or totally awesome, that is all. So there's loads of different things you could do with this. So this is a really useful set, and obviously it works alongside our characters, but also with the size of the Special and Awesome, it could just be a focal point on a project. So that's Special. And then this one is an older set called Stop Yourself, and I absolutely love this set, and actually getting it out for the shows and making some new inspiration with it, I've just fallen in love with it all over again. It is so useful, and I've actually made a card. Like I said, I don't have it here, but watch out on social media. I've actually made a card just literally using this leaf stamp and the bird, and I've just built it up. I've stamped that 3 times and the bird, coloured it in, and it is a beautiful card. So there's lots of different ways you can use this. This kind of bubble wreath almost is great for backgrounds, and you can also build it up with the extra bubbles. You know, you could create a whole bubbly background to go with our Bubblicious stamp set, or to go with any kind of water related stamps. You can use the foliage again to build up a wreath, or the dots here to build up a background. There's so many different ways you can use it. And then there's 2 quite big sentiments: thank you for being you, stop yourself from stopping yourself. And I've actually used this foliage stamp quite a lot in backgrounds for the cows, for example, and it's really, really useful. So this is a really nice stamp set. Like I say, I've fallen in love with it all over again. So that's Stop Yourself, and that'll be on, watch out on HobbyMaker for some inspiration using that set. Then we've got Count on Me, which was from our previous release. It's got the 2 cute dogs on it, and then it's got these text kind of whirls, some extra elements, some foliage, some flowers there, some hearts, butterfly, and then this text portion, which is really quite useful for creating backgrounds and adding a bit of interest to your project. And then the sentiments say, keep shining, keep smiling. You've got, you can count on me for sure, that's what friends are for. I'll be on your side forevermore, and you can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. So that's a really lovely step. And this portion here I've used so much for background stamping onto, either stamping onto our papers or stamping and then watercolouring or blending through or stenciling through, and then just using this in the background. It just works beautifully. So that's Count on Me. Then got Envelopals, and this again is a slightly older one, but I just absolutely love it. The idea is that you stamp the envelope here, and then each of these little characters could be popping out of the envelope. So you've got the rhino there holding a balloon, the cow, monster, a little meerkat, a kangaroo, an elephant, a bunny, a fox, and a koala, and all of those fit in there. And also the flowers could be popping out, the hearts could be popping out, and these sentiments as well also fit there, so you can just kind of build it up as much as you want. Also, the don't forget that although it's designed for them to go into the envelope, I've actually created some cards where I've not even used the envelope, and I've just had these characters just popping out of windows in cards and different things like that. So keep an eye out on that on social media and on HobbyMaker for some different ways of using this set. So that's Envelopals. Then got Coffee Cuties. This is also from our last release. This one's been super popular, and I have actually sold out on my own website of this. So if you want to get hold of it, the only place you can get it at the moment will be on HobbyMaker today. So I am ordering restocks, but they won't be here for a couple of weeks. So if you want to get your hands on that one, this, you know, HobbyMaker is the way to do it. So that's Coffee Cuties. And again, with this one actually coordinates with one of our other stamp sets, Teacup Treasures, which is a slightly older one, which had teacups on it, and it had little characters that you could put on. And what I've done with this one is I've made the coffee cup and the espresso cup the same size as the teacup, so that any of the characters on the teacup set can be used with these cups, and any of these characters can be used with the teacup set. So the idea is that you can kind of, you know, if you've got them both, you can kind of cross over and use anyone you like with it. So the idea is you stamp the coffee cup, and then these characters could be sat on the top there, so you can have the elephant sat on the top with his spoon, or the this one's diving into the cup, and they also work with the espresso cup as well. So you just mix and match, you just pick which one you want. Again, it's not difficult to line this up, being clear stamps. If you're at all worried about it, just try it with copier paper and just sort of get to grips with how it's supposed to be positioned. There is an example on the back just to show you here of a couple of the designs. So that should give you a rough idea. But if you've got a stamp platform as well, if you're at all worried about stamping in the right place and so on, you can always pop it in your stamp platform, then use stamp onto, so do your cup first, stamp onto your project, and then pop some copier paper in and over the top and just stamp again so that you know exactly where that's positioned. Then position your character and try it on the copier paper, and then once you've got it into the right position, you then know that when you pop your actual project back in, you've got it in the same place. So there's different ways of doing it, but I'm not actually that obsessive about it. I just think as long as it's roughly right, by the time you've coloured it and everything, it actually would look okay anyway. So that's Coffee Cuties. There's some great examples of this as well on the show. I know Sharon's done some lovely cards as well with that one. Again, the sentiments, a bit punny. So we've got coffee because adulting is hard. Words cannot espresso how much you been to me. Life happens, coffee helps. 1, drink coffee. 2, be awesome. Love you almost as much as coffee. Coffee with a friend, the perfect blend. And espresso yourself. And then there's just a coffee question mark. So if you want to send someone an invitation out for a coffee, then it's another one. We've got some extra little elements here. So this is supposed to look like the top of a coffee, you know, like your cappuccino with your print on the top. The coffee beans, got a coffee bean heart there, and then the 2 smaller cups as well. The little bow here is you know, you could pop it on any of the characters, but I've designed it really to go on the elephant, but I've done it with and without, so if you want to have a boy or a girl, you can. So that's Coffee Cuties. And then our popular Rainbow Pie and Coffee and Cream paper pads will also be on the show today. Coffee and Cream one has just been really popular, and actually it's really good for stamping on. This one, for example, I've done some examples, and I know I've seen other people as well, where they've used the dog and stamped onto here. So if you don't like colouring, have a think about what paper pads you've got where you can stamp onto them so that you don't have to do any colouring. And that's kind of one of the demos I'm going to show you in a bit. So yeah, lots of different creams and coffee and browns and different things. So they go really well. Obviously, it was designed to go with the Teacup Treasures and Coffee Cutie stamp sets, but actually I've used it with all sorts. I've used it with the cows. I've used it as backgrounds for lots of other characters. It goes really well with the elephants as well. So that's Coffee and Cream. And then we've got the Rainbow Pie, which is typical of us with the rainbow theme. Lots of different dreamy, and it's called Rainbow Pie because it's like the pie shape, almost like a pie chart. So lots of different ways you can use that. You could just literally take a character and pop it on the front of your, let's just find one here, let's get one of the cows. So you can just literally pop a character on, stamp a sentiment, and you're done. It's so easy. Or you can do lots of intricate things with it if you want to spend more time and so on doing things, you can, but they do provide that instant background. So that's Rainbow Pie. Again, both these paper pads, 30 sheets, 10 designs, 3 of each, 190 GSM. So that's all the products that are going to be on HobbyMaker today. Like I say, do tune in because I know Sharon's got some great demos prepped, and there are a ton of samples that I've made and sent to her to take in. So lots going on there. I'm really quite nervous, but I'm hoping that you'll all love the products and tune in. And yeah, so that's at 1 and 6 today. So I thought I'd just finish off just by creating, showing you how I've created one of the cards using the birthday pheasant set. I'm going to move this away and pop it onto my mat. So I'm going to use the Rainbow Pie. This is one of the papers from that set, and I'm going to use the pheasant. You can see how well loved my stamp set is here. Okay, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to have a bit of a play. I'm going to stamp onto this, and I'm going to just move it around until I'm happy with the colourings. So you might want more blue and yellow. You might want, what I'm going to try and do is have it so that the feet are either on the yellow or the orange. I think I might do it round about there. And then you've got some of the purple creeping into his head, a bit of pink, and then you've got some green and blue on his feathers there. So let me just show you. It actually doesn't matter too much, like you just go with your preference. If you want him to have pink feet or blue feet or something, that's absolutely fine. So I'm just going to ink him up, and I'm going to pop him. I'm just going to pop him about there. So this is a perfect technique for anyone that doesn't really like colouring or thinks they're no good at colouring. It's something that I really enjoy doing. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to take I've got some distress markers here. So I've got picked raspberry, I've got shaded lilac. I'm just scribbling a little bit of these onto my mat. Use an orangey colour. Go for dried marigold. We'll go for mustard seed. So I'm just putting each of the colours on there. You only need a tiny little bit. You don't even have to do this if you don't want to, but I just think it adds that extra touch of, let's go for a green. What green? Let's go bundled sage. And then we'll go for a pale blue, which could be tumbled glass. Oh, there we go. Right, so then all I'm going to do is I'm going to take a paintbrush. Now, this paper isn't watercolour paper, so it's not going to take a huge amount of water. In fact, if you're not confident with only using a small amount of water and being able to do this effect, then you can always use pencils. Coloured pencils would work equally as well, but I just tend to do it this way because this is what I'm used to using. So I'm just going to pick up a bit of the blue to start with a bit of water, and I'm just going to add a bit of shading, blend it out to his tail there. I'm going to take a bit of the green I'm not colouring the whole thing in, I'm just literally adding a bit of depth. And I'm just kind of just doing a small amount. Oops. So there we go, there's the tail feathers all done. Like I say, just a small amount of water on these is all you need really, because otherwise the card will start to, and you won't be able to move the watercolour in the same way, so you have to kind of just be quite delicate with how you do it, because you don't want to kind of just put it down and then not be able to move the colour. So I'm just adding a fair bit of water and just dabbing on. So a bit of yellow on his wing there. So I'm just literally choosing the colour. So you can see that I've popped the yellow on the feet. I'll put a bit more on this one actually. And I'm just putting it on one side to look like shading almost. And then I'm going to put a bit of the orange where the oranges come here. And then I'm going to take a bit of the purple and just go around his head here. And then I'm going to take a bit of the pink and just go around there. Let's have a look. Let's go with a bit of the blue in there. It's a bit too dark, so just take a bit of the water. And then all I'm going to do is just add a little bit of the extra, a bit of the yellow under his wing there. So I'm not being accurate in any way. I'm just literally, I should have probably gone for a different colour on his beak, but there you go. I've just popped a bit of yellow over the top and it's turned it slightly orangey. And then all I'm going to do is just take a white pen and I'm going to add the highlight in his eye there and the white of his eye, because I don't want it to be pink. And then I'm just going to also, I'm going to take the blue, I think. Take the fine end of my distress mark and I'm just colouring in the bit of his eye. I don't want him to have pink eyes because it makes him look a bit evil. So just make that blue there. And then I'm going to take a sort of more prominent white pen and I'm going to turn this neck part into, just make it a bit whiter. Okay, so that is literally all you need to do. I'm going to just put some white shading on him actually, so I'm going to go just in there, I'm going to go in there, a bit on his beak. My white pen's not working very well, but you get the gist. I'm going to go with a bit of white here. So there we go, it's really easy to create this. So if you're not comfortable with colouring, that has just made an instant impact. And then all I'm going to do is cut it out. And I always cut out, I know a lot of people comment on my cutting out, but just remember to move the paper, not the scissors. And also, I always leave just a little gap around the stamped image, just because I think it's a bit more forgiving and it just sits nicely on top of the background. And I don't worry about being too accurate. I just literally just leave like I say, a small amount of space, but I'm not concerned if it's, you can always go in and again, if you sort of miss a bit or don't, you know, you're worried it's not quite right, you can just go and trim a little bit more off. But I'm not too particular about it. I just kind of cut. I know a lot of people like dies. I personally, because I don't mind cutting out and I just find it quite quick and easy, I actually would rather than pay extra for dies, I would rather buy extra stamps. That's my kind of take on it, and just cut them out myself. So unless there's a particular reason to have a die, like it's particularly tricky to cut out, then I would just assume, because it's quite simple shapes. And you'll notice on this one I've got like some little because of the style, it's a distress style, it's got the little splatters on there. Now I don't mind about just cutting those off because you can't really cut them out. If you want them to appear on your image, what you can do is stamp the image onto your background just in black, and you'll have the splatters, and then you can sit the cutout part on top, and then you will still see those splatters that fall sort of outside of the area. So that's one way you can do it, but I'm actually going to add my own sort of background to this anyway. So I'm not too concerned about the splatters in this instance. So you can see how quick it is. Let's just cut across there, it makes it a bit easier. So I'm just literally, like I say, I'm not being accurate in the least. Don't think you need to be. Okay, so simple as that. So there's my pheasant. And then all I'm going to do is take another paper from the rainbow pie. I mean, there's all sorts of papers you could use. So let's have a look here. You could literally just pop it on any number of the papers, like so. And you could just stamp a sentiment, and that would be, you know, just perfect. What other ones have we got in there? This one, for example. So there's lots of them there, but the one that I've chosen is this one. And I'm going to position him probably about there. But in order to make him stand out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Bits and Bobs stamp set. And I'm just going to stamp a couple of things. So I'm going to use the stitched part here. So bearing in mind he's going to be there, I'm just going to move him out of the way and just stamp. Again, it doesn't need to be accurate, it doesn't need to be in line, you know, you can just do it however you want. And then I'm also going to pop in this stitched piece. And what you can do is you can just keep, I shouldn't be doing it like this because I'm getting ink all over my fingers, but so you can just keep popping him back to see whether you like how it's turned out. I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pop the squiggly, what looks like fake words almost. I'm going to pop that there, and I'm also going to pop it the other way up down here. Let's have a look and see how that looks. So you can literally just position it wherever you want. I think I'll just have some numbers on there as well. This is all from the Bits and Bobs stamp set, and what I'm going to do is just pop that in there. Numbers. And I'm going to pop some numbers here as well. Simple as that. And then what I'm going to do is just add a sentiment. And I'm going to do it from the, I'm going to go with, "You are magnificent." Didn't really say that very well, did I? But you get the idea. And I'm just going to stamp that in the bottom there. "You are magnificent." And then I'm going to just raise the bird up slightly with some foam pads. I won't put loads on because you don't really need to see me trying to take the backs off of these. That will be enough. And take them off. Now what I would actually do, I'm not going to do it now while I'm on camera, but I would just then just slightly trim, just pop him on there. Yeah, what I would do is I would actually just trim the card down slightly either here or each side, and then I would mount it on a black card base, or even just take a little bit off the edge there and stick it on like that, so that you've just got a bit of a black border. You could either put the border the whole way round or just left and right or something like that. In fact, let me just do it so I can show you how I would do it. So I'll just take a small amount off of each side. Like so. And then that just kind of frames your card like that. So that's a really quick and easy card. So this would be what I would probably demo if I was on HobbyMaker myself. So hopefully you've kind of got a bit of a the best of both worlds, like I said before, because you'll get to see all of Sharon's fabulous demos and how she's used our stamps, and also you'll get some demos from me. So like I said, if there's anything that you see, any of the samples that I've made that are on TV this afternoon, 1 and 6, then just pop me a message through or comment on here or whatever. I'll try and keep track of the comments if I can. If there's a particular one you want to see demoed, then I will do my best to get that done for you. So I hope you can tune in at 1 and 6 today on HobbyMaker, and if not, then you can always catch up on their website later on. And yeah, I hope you enjoy it. I'm quite nervous now, but anyway, we'll get going. Okay, thanks very much for watching, everybody. Hope you like the products. Thank you.